Now then, brew tubers, back for another grain to glass video. This week, this time, something a little bit different. What it's going to be this week is a low ABV beer. Now, why brew a low ABV beer? Well, with the excesses of Christmas and New Year and lockdown, we drank quite a bit of beer, didn't we? Yeah, and every single beer in the kegs was over 5%. So, come January, everybody wants to try and be a little bit more healthier, and contemplating dry January. I think it lasted 4 or 5 days. So the next option was to brew some lower ABV beer, because obviously a lower ABV is less calories. Unfortunately, the flip side to that is that a lower ABV beer means you can drink twice as much. So there you go. As usual, the keg's kicked and we're reviewing something I've bottled. Low ABV beers. There seems to be a number of ways to achieve that. I'm just a basic home brewer. I'm not a scientist or anything, but I watched a few videos, read a few bits and pieces, and came across a recipe on the BrewDog recipes for something called Half Eagle, and that's supposed to be a 2.7% beer. And I had a little look at it. I think there might be a typo, because the mash temperature is 63 degrees. But and I thought, yeah, that could be a good starting point. But what I've taken from this recipe, I've taken the hopping schedule from it, and it's hinted on a few bits and pieces on the malts. But what I did was I wanted something that wasn't too thin, so something that had a half decent mouthfeel. So I wanted to use the best quality malts and additions that I could, and also, in my case, I wanted to use up quite a few bags of malt that I had. So we're going to start with decent grain bill, to try and hopefully give us decent colour, decent mouthfeel, and a good base to work from. The other side is you want a decent amount of hops in it. I like hoppy beers. It's pointless drinking something with that's white and with no taste. We may as well put some hops in. So the hopping schedule that we use is the one from the Half Eagle, which is somewhere in the region of 120, about 180 grams of hops. So that's great. The other thing that people seem to do to achieve a lower ABV is to mash out at a higher temperature. Like I said, the recipe said 63 degrees, but reading various different pieces online, I opted to try and mash out at 70 degrees for a shorter mash, a 30-minute mash at 70 degrees. So that should, in theory, have given me a OG of 1029 and an FG of 1008, which would have given us a 2.8% beer. Didn't quite work out like that, and I'll explain about that in a minute. I think what we'll do, I'll have a quick chat through the grain bill. I will put the recipe down below. It may seem a little bit complicated, but that's only because I'm just using up what I had. So I want to start with a real decent malt. So I want to start with Golden Promise. Didn't quite have enough, so I've got 1.1 kilos of Golden Promise. So I've topped that up with some extra pale Marisotto that I had 500 grams of. I've added 400 grams of Pilsner, because we had that. 295 grams of Caragold, because we had that. 260 grams of Munich, same again. 260 grams of wheat, and 100 grams of oats. Don't tell Mrs. Apples, but it was breakfast oats. So
Morrison's best.
Morrison's best. I think the Scottish Jumbo oats, actually. Hopping for this, we've got a 60-minute edition, which is 10 grams of Simcoe, for about 19 IBUs. We've got a 10-minute edition of 10 grams of Chinook, for 6 IBUs. I did a 20-minute hop stand at 75 degrees, and in the hop stand we had 20 grams of Chinook and 20 grams of Simcoe. And then dry hopping, we'd add a 3-day dry hop of 40 grams each of Centennial, Mosaic and Simcoe. So a fair old hop schedule, 180 grams. Hopefully that'll give us a bit of a punch. That should have come out at 31 IBUs. Yeast, I reused the Yeast Bay Midwestern Ale yeast. I think this was the first time I might have I reused the yeast, so I created a starter and etc. etc. It seemed to work quite well. And I don't know if that's something to do with the results we got out. So I will post some brew footage in a minute, but just as a bit of an aside, the 30-minute mash at 70 degrees worked well. That wasn't an issue, and we ended up with a pre-boil gravity of 1025, which is what they said. Unfortunately, I was running late, so I was trying to measure out all the hop additions, and I just clicked the next button on the pie to take us up to the boil, and it wasn't until a short while later that I thought, oh shit, I haven't took the hops out, the grains out. So we did a mash out, but we mashed out to about 90 odd degrees before I realised, about 90 degrees I think it was. So that was quite a hot bag squeeze on that one. So took the bag out, thought it was all doomed, but thought we may as well carry on. We'll see how we get on. Interesting point, my pre-boil gravity went from 1025 to 1028, so I got an extra 3 points just for the increased high mash out. Everything else went fine after that. The boil was fine. It's a 60-minute boil, and yeah, everything went good. So what we'll do is, it tasted that nice, unfortunately, that the keg's well gone, so all I've got left is one solitary little bottle. So this is what we're going to taste. Obviously there's no label on it, so I hope it is what it is, otherwise we're tasting something else. Anyway, if you want to come back and see what sort of lucky dip we've got from that special bottle, join us after a bit of brew footage. Alright, see you in a minute, cheers. Righto, folks, welcome back. Let's. Oh, Mrs. A's munching on the old beer snacks, quarter unawares.
Posteritos, eh?
Yeah, no, posteritos. Yeah, they are actually. McCoy's Munchos today.
Munchos.
Munchos. Yeah. So we also have our Mexican hats on for that, don't we?
Oh yeah. Hold on.
So right, while Mrs. A's getting us sorted out, we'll have a go at this. Here we go.
I've got nothing to do with the beer.
Nothing to do with the beer, but hey,
All to do with the snack.
all to do with the Munchos. Right, I think this might cast a big shadow. Can't see my. Anyway, not to worry. Right, let's have a go. Oh, slight hiss there. Let's see what we've got. We're having a bit of an experiment by moving the camera a little bit further away, but unfortunately it's further away for you from the beer. There we go. So what have we got? It's a golden sort of orange sort of colour. Bit pointless me taking it off the camera. It's got a fairly nice white head. So look what it says on the nose. Take that off. Yeah, very citrusy. You will getting quite a lot of hop character coming through. We're getting orange and tangerine and that sort of thing. Okay, Mrs. A.
Yeah, definitely more tangerine, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that nearly slipped in. So, in for a taste. Oh, got some carbonation. Yeah, it's quite pleasant. It's
Is it this?
I think it is.
What's that? That's good.
So I think we've actually opened the right bottle. It has got some body. It's a lighter body. Quite a lot of carbonation. And we're getting some of those fruity hop flavours coming through with the taste as well. It's got a fairly dry finish, although the final gravity, it should have come down to 10.08 and it came down to 10.13, so it's got a little bit more residual sweetness in there. That might be the yeast, or maybe because I had my super mash out.
It's a really nice. It's a really nice one to do for the summer, I think.
Yeah, well, I think the great thing about it is that it was only like 2.5% in the end. It came out at because of that higher finish. So what we've got is 2.5% pale ale.
It's got nice bitterness at the end, doesn't it?
Yeah. I think it needed that. I needed that bitterness. It needed those IBUs just to give it a little bit of something, give it a little bit of flavour, bit of something.
But consider it's got low alcohol. It's got a real depth of.
Yeah, it's multi-layered, isn't it? I think that, like I said, because it's 2.5%, decided to call it Arthur because it's like Arthur strong as the normal stuff we brew. So this is a glass of Arthur strong. So it came in at 2.5%. Interestingly, 500 mils of that is only 150 calories. So it's got to be good, hasn't it? And works out about 45 pence for half a pint. That's about as much as we can say about this one. I think it's a pleasant brew. I think it probably won't have quite such a complicated malt bill next time, but that's only because we was using things up.
But I think you can taste it. I think you can say that.
Yeah, I think
it's
so.
It's got real nice.
So yeah,
a little bit of spice in it, I thought. But it might be them.
It's probably Human Joe's.
Not the best thing to drink. That.
Yeah, all round,
Definitely
not a bad beer. Give it a swirl. It doesn't last forever, but if you give it a little bit of a agitation, we get it back. It's got some legs. Yeah, it's still got the aroma. It's a very pleasant, crushable drink, and I think that was the problem. It was far too crushable, and that's why it didn't last very long. So I think next time we need to get a bit more variety on. But never mind. Right, I think we've waffled on long enough. Thank you very much for getting this far. Thank you for watching our video. If you like what you see, you can click the like down here. If you're not a subscriber, feel free to subscribe. Either way, thank you for watching. Catch you next time. Cheers. Bye bye.